What was this? I don't even know, kids. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do brows. As you can see, I don't have many. This side is fuller than this side. Its hair's all crazy. And I know you feel like, how are you going to make brows with that? Well, I do every single day with a few tools. You want a double-ended brush, so it's angled on one side, spoolie on the other, a flat brush. I like brow powder because it looks more natural, or in this case eyeshadow, so I use 2 eyeshadow colors. So that way they look the most natural. And a concealer and an eyeshadow primer. I know y'all probably like, I could have just grabbed a brow pencil and made this happen. You could, but it's not going to look super natural. So the first thing you want to do, if you don't know where your eyebrows start, I mean, there's a whole science, and you can find 1,000 videos on how to measure out exactly where everything should be, you know, as far as your arch point and where your brows start. But the basis is lay it flat up against your nose, side of your nostril, just like literally against the side of your nostril, and that's where your brows are supposed to start. So I'm missing a little section of brows, and do it to both sides because your face is not symmetrical. Most is not. Sorry, kids. I know y'all are like, can she make a straight line or what? Most people's faces are not symmetrical. So know where your brows start. That's important. So once you find out where your brows start, you can either mark it off in the front. That way you know exactly where to start, or you can go to it. I'll just be going to it because I do brows every day. Eyeshadow primer. Eyeshadow primer is key because for people that have sparse brows or you're missing sections in the front, you know, or anywhere, this helps the powder to grab on better. So just a very tiny amount of eyeshadow primer for those zones helps a lot. Then I go through and I brush my brows. Brush them in the direction that they grow. Don't try to give them new direction and things like that, because you will be fighting your brows trying to make it happen. Then you won't be able to figure out why your brows aren't cute. That's why you're fighting them. Don't fight your brows. Don't fight your brows. Okay, so now I brushed them in the direction that they grow, and as you can see, I don't really have a tail on this side, so I'm pretty much brushing a wish. But I brushed that wish. Okay, so I'm going to start with my darker eyeshadow powder. This is a plum. My hair is cranberry. So for me, I use a plum and a cranberry color. So I'm running my brush into that color. And I'm going to start by working this underneath the brow. So I like to work under the section first. And draw a straight line. Well, a straighter line. So I start from where the brows actually grow, and then I go closer to that front section. Just like that. I'm going to re-dip into that color and do the ends. And sketch out that section. So the place where I don't have a lot of brows, I really fill it up with that dark color because it makes it look like hair is growing from that section for real. So I sketched out the line. It's a little long. Wipe that out. And now I'm just going to go back in and go over this line one more time. So that way it's super dark in that area and it matches the rest of the brow where there's actually brow hair. Okay? Now we're going to go in and we're going to do the top of the brow and do a bracket. Basically straightening out that top of that brow too, so it looks like your brows are being tamed and maintained. And we're drawing that back to the arch point and take it around. So your brows will look kind of like a stencil. I know y'all are like, that is not straight. But I'm just going to go in. I traced it, and now I'm just going to go in and kind of pat and fill it with powder. Because I don't have a whole lot of eyebrow there. If that's not your struggle, you can, keep moving forward. But I struggle, y'all. I'm not terribly concerned with the shape because I'll use some concealer to clean up. I'm just really filling that section. So redipping my brush, and I'm just going through the top section again, and I don't take it all the way to the front because I don't want it to get too crazy up there. I just take it a little bit so you can kind of faintly see the top line. I'm just going to push the color from the bottom of my brows up into that section of stencil and kind of fill it. Same with the front here. Just like that. I always get like a weird little something right through my arch. So I'm just going to go back and line here. And then brush my color forward. Brushing it into that negative zone where my brows are supposed to start. Sorry, I'm a little shiny. And then, like, I'll clean this up some because sometimes my brows get a little bit big. I get a little carried away. Fill in those gappy sections, just like that. Take my concealer. I'm using Toffee from LA Girl. I like it a little bit lighter underneath. That way I don't have to do any highlighting if I'm wearing eyeshadow. It's not crazy bright, but on the other side I'll show you what a natural brow could look like. So I'm taking this straight brush. I'm just dipping a little bit, just those tips on both sides. And now I'm just going to take it and do my line. So I like mine a little bit angular, kind of like how that's drawn right there. So I'll take this and go right underneath that section where I was and create a really straight line. And it's the contrast between those two things that really gives it that pop. So I'm taking it, and even in that non-existent section where you're like, I brushed it and I don't see it, drag that concealer towards it because I promise you it'll pop out. So then I'm going to skip the arch point and go to the end first. Flick that tail out. Like that. And then drag this back up. Please excuse Aiden, y'all. He's watching PBS Kids for the 1000th time. Just like that. So I always have a problem with my curve right here. So I just go in and really be careful how I touch it. See how that looks? I like my tail to be thin. So I'm going to just kind of start to slim that in. I'm bringing that in towards where the brow that I created is. Now pull down that concealer. That way you just don't have blocky brows with that weird concealer underneath. It doesn't look natural that way. So pull that concealer down. And take a little bit more concealer and put it right in that section so it's even with the rest of it. Just like that. Redip. And I like to start at the end. And slim out that tail. And so I'm using it with the straight edge facing down. That way I'm getting the most precision. Then I'll go right here through this section and follow the curve around. Then I'm going to take the rest of the concealer on this brush and just flick it forward lightly. I don't want a whole lot of concealer through here because I don't want it to look like I'm doing a whole lot to my brows. Then I'm starting to blend this section out with this brush. Just kind of blending that up and out. Running back through here because I don't like to lose my precision. And then I take my finger and really just blend the section in. That's why I take it so far out. That way I know it's already precise and I'm not messing with it. Then I blend that down and then I go back closer to my actual brow and really blend. Because all the sculpt is done now. You see I leave the front out. I'm just going to brush that over and up again. It gets a little too crazy, too close, a little too Frida Kahlo. Then you just pull your finger through it and remove some color. Using a tissue and things are not the same. You need that heat from your hand to just pull it up without rubbing it to death. And you see the difference on how much more space I have, my eyes more open and everything just by doing a brow. It's good stuff. I like a little pop on it. Now I'm going to show you the other side real quick. Now I'm going to speed through this brow and just show you what it looks like with the different concealer on the end. Okay, so here's the brow difference. I don't know if you can really see it like that. Like one is just a little bit more, this one's just a little bit more popped out. You know, it's more a little bit more definition than this one, where this one's softer. Like this is nice, but I need definition in my life. Like I already don't have brows. So for people that really don't have a whole lot of brow, when you sculpt a brow, you kind of need that pop. So for me, I go back in and put just a little bit of pop. Because it suits me better. Besides, it makes your brows look a little bit more freshly done. Like, I just got these hairs pulled out this morning. Kind of thing. So even just adding that little bit in the front just gives it just a little bit more definition. So I like a little bit more. But that's just the basis of brows. That's it right there. That's how I do my brows. Brows are cousins and not twins, so you don't want them to be perfectly symmetrical and just like... That's a nightmare. Like, it pains my soul to even know that people do that. I mean, if that's what you like, that's what you like. But if you want it to look like these brows grow out of your face, you probably need to stop doing that. Okay. See? Brows. And it does a wonder for your face. It really just kind of pulls everything up, opens your eyes a little bit more. Sorry about this. He loves PBS Kids. If you have any questions, let me know. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. And I'm sorry this took so long. I filmed this video like 56 times and cannot get it under 22 minutes. I don't know. But it's short now. Bye, everybody.